Will Pomni abstract in episode 2? Some fans have been saying that Pomni's going to abstract because of this shot we got in the episode 2 trailer, which does show Pomni being sent down into the cellar with her arm fully abstracted. But why would Glitch and Gooseworks do this? It doesn't make sense for them to kill off their main character so early on in the show. Well, let's go over everything we know about Pomni from the trailer and teasers and come to the conclusion on whether or not Pomni will actually abstract in episode 2. The first detail we don't know is how much time has passed between the episodes. It could be possible that we're going to witness Pomni's second day in the circus, or we could actually see Pomni 6 months down the line, since the episode released about 6 months prior to episode 2's release date. But either way, Pomni is still going to be the newest character in the circus, so I'm really curious how we're going to see her act. And in the trailer, we see a sequence where Pomni is inside of a room, which we also saw in the previous trailer for season 1, but now we can see it in full. And we can also see how her room got messier. The toys are thrown around and it looks like she was playing with them. Or I can also imagine her having a mental breakdown where she just threw them around in anger. But in the clip, we see Pomni bouncing around her room because she clipped into the block and it sent her flying. And I'm thinking about this picture that Glitch shared a few days ago where we see the circus members lying in the grass outside. What if Kane teleported Pomni from her room to the grass and she landed in the very same pose, which is why she was face down? And I think it could be possible that Kane teleported all of the circus members out of their rooms, because just look how they're all positioned. It's a little bit suspicious. And then we can see Kane floating above them, probably about to tell them about their next adventure. Now we also see in one of the teasers where they're on the Ferris wheel, so it's possible they were all sleeping. Kane took them outside and that's why we see them all on the grass, and then he flipped them around in the Ferris wheel, woke them up, and then sent them on their way to the adventure by shoving all of them through the portal except Zubul for some reason. And in the trailer we can see a lot of things are gonna happen to Pomni, like where we saw her inside of the tent in the circus and she has this distinct expression which we saw in the pilot episode where she is shocked, and also this scene where she's with Gangle and Ragatha where she seems just as anxious as she was in the pilot episode, and maybe she's trying to find reasons why she shouldn't go on the adventure. But as we've seen, that is not happening and she has to go with them. But despite her being worried and still being anxious in the conversation that we hear over the trailer, which is the narration, maybe she's starting to accept her fate, especially by the last sentence she says, where she's telling Kane that she doesn't know anything about this episode, and she just says with zero emotion,
"I really know anything about this episode, and I've been teleported to a meat freezer." Cool.
which is so random. Who just, oh yeah, my bad, teleported to a meat freezer? Maybe this does show that we're now 6 months later into the timeline of the show, because now she just accepts Kane's teleportations as normal things. However, Pomni still does look like an outsider, because if we're looking at this scene during the truck chase, we can see Pomni alone on top of the truck, but we can't see who's driving it. And in my opinion, it's probably Gummy Goo, because of the later clip we saw in the same truck of him peering out his head and seeing Pomni's hands on top of it. As well, Pomni looks like an outsider when they're meeting the princess. She's just kind of in the background, or here she just looks kind of tired. And this must be the picture that Gooseworks showed us before, where Pomni's eyes look swollen like she just got punched in the face. But if you look at the other scenes where the other circus members are together, like this one where the chocolate monster is trying to eat them alive, Pomni is missing. So it may be that she gets sidetracked and she's gonna be the only one who goes with Gummy Goo and gets kidnapped by his gang of gummy alligators. Because we can see that when the truck chase is happening, it must be that the alligators took Pomni, and something must have happened which we didn't see in the trailer, which makes me wonder, what could they have done which made the alligators so angry to start chasing after them? That scene looks full of action, and honestly, I'm excited to see what's coming. But one scene which makes me and many other people truly worried about her is the one where we see Pomni falling in the darkness, which looks identical to the cellar from episode 1 where Kane sent down Kaufmo to be with the other abstractions. And if you look closely at Pomni's arm, you can notice that she's starting to abstract and her arm is fully black. And honestly, that makes me confused, because I thought there were only fully abstracted characters. How can just her arm get her sent down to the cellar? Maybe they can't fix her arm, but they could at least amputate it. Because when Kane sent Kaufmo down to the cellar, he was a huge abstracted horse monster. But what if this isn't true at all? What if just a little bit of abstraction will send you down to the cellar, and Kane sends every character down there that just starts to abstract, and that way they go through the abstraction process without the other characters seeing it, and hopefully they wouldn't abstract because of it. It's a way of stopping a virus before it spreads, and instead of amputating Pomni's arm, Kane would amputate Pomni from the circus members. But Pomni actually could be dreaming this. It could be plausible that she's not about to go to the bottom of the cellar and handshake Kaufmo and Queenie and say, hey, what's up? You guys are pretty popular on Gooseworks' Tumblr. But in a clip where we see Pomni fall out of the bed and glitch through the block, that could have been just as she wakes up from this nightmare. And this makes me wonder, could abstracting partially be a thing in the first place? Because from what we've seen in the trailer, nothing seems too suspicious. I mean, sure, she probably isn't going to have a calm minute in the next episode, but still, I don't think that Gummy Goo or any other NPCs could make her abstract. And it can't be that she abstracts before the adventure, because we don't see her arm abstracting at all. And when she's falling down to the cellar, her arm is fully abstracting. But maybe Pomni tries to escape from them, and then she will see the exit door appear in front of her again. And even this time, she might have some second thoughts about going through it, but she just might do it. And we don't really know what can happen in the void. Maybe if she spends too much time out there, it's possible that she starts to lose her mind. And thinking back to the pilot episode, she already did this once while she was glitching. And after Kane brought her back to the circus, he also fixed her glitching, but what if her mind is still slightly corrupted? And so the next time she goes out into the void, she can actually start to abstract, which would then prove at the end of the episode, we're gonna see Pomni abstract and get sent down to the cellar. But my guess is that she's not gonna abstract in the next episode, because we know Pomni is the face of the Amazing Digital Circus, which doesn't mean that we're not gonna see her suffer, as that's part of just being alive. And with the Amazing Digital Circus and Kane being as crazy as he is, Pomni's probably gonna go through a lot. So what I'm thinking is that this was a dream, and that her falling down the cellar is actually a nightmare. But if you remember back to the soundtrack that was leaked not too long ago, we heard some very ominous and eerie music, which makes me and many other people who commented down on my video saying this, thank you guys for letting me know, that this music could play during Pomni's descent into the cellar, and we truly get scared for her. And during the conversation that we hear during the whole trailer where Kane and Pomni are talking, it's very weird. Kane is calling Pomni Bubble as an improv apparently, but by this conversation we can finally put pieces together why Gooseworks described the next episode by this quote, "I'm nothing." Pomni's whole existence is now being questioned, and also by calling her a different name must confuse her, because even Pomni isn't her real name. It's just that she can't remember her original name as a human, and so she'll start to go down some depression, which Gooseworks also said the next episode was about, and she'll think that she's nothing, but in reality she's just losing track of who she is. It's a very common thing to get very caught up in the world or things that you're doing and think that you're nothing, but that's a reminder just to calm down, realize that you're important no matter how bad your life may seem, and I think that Pomni will get through it. But let me know what you think is going to happen with Pomni in episode 2 down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video here.